Hey everyone, welcome to Victoria, British Columbia, one of the most charming cities in Canada and the perfect stop on your Alaska cruise or your road trip. Whether you're here for just a day or a weekend, there's so much to explore. I'm going to share my favorite things to do downtown, which is super easy to walk to from the cruise port. And I'll also highlight some great excursions if you have more time to venture out just a little bit further. Now, full disclosure, I didn't film all of this in one day because there is just way too much to do. And I want to show you what Victoria looks like at different times of the year. So not everyone visits in just the summertime. If you're short on time, then just focus on the inner harbor area and you'll get a great taste of Victoria without feeling rushed. So trust me, you're going to love it here. So put on some comfy shoes and let's get started. First things first, if your main focus is exploring downtown and the inner harbor, I recommend staying in the area so it's easier to explore on foot. Traffic and parking can be a challenge during the summer months. There are many accommodation options from cozy motels to luxurious hotels to vacation home rentals. Whichever option you choose, book early and book refundable in case your plans change. And of course, I always recommend travel insurance if you're from outside of Canada. The first hotel I'll talk about is the Coast Victoria Hotel and Marina. From my room, I could see the cruise port in the distance, and I was able to watch a bit of the activity in the harbor from my balcony. The updated rooms are quite large, and the beds are very comfortable. The bathrooms have a touch control mirror, and they even have a bidet in some of the rooms. What? This is the first time I've used one, and now I want one at home. The Blue Crab Seafood House in the hotel is well known for serving the best of local and sustainable seafood. And of course, I could admire the stunning ocean views from the restaurant for hours on end. I'm not counting how many Aperol Spritz I've had on my travels, or if I'm drinking one right now, but it is my go-to drink. I challenge you to go through my videos and count them all. Next, we have the Inn at Laurel Point. It's been many years since I have stayed at this hotel, and they have renovated it since then. I had to stop in and take some video and, of course, do my part in supporting the Hot Chocolate Festival that is happening this month in the city of Victoria. Next, we have the famous Fairmont Empress Hotel, recognized as the #2 best Canadian hotel in Travel and Leisure's 2024 World's Best Awards. Overlooking the beautiful inner harbor, this Michelin Key and Forbes recommended hotel offers 431 fabulous rooms and suites. This hotel is connected to the Victoria Conference Centre, so it's a great place to stay if you are here attending an event. One of my favorite things to do, and something this historic hotel is famous for, is tea at the Empress, a traditional afternoon tea. It books up quickly, so make sure to reserve your table. If you can, request a table by the window for the wonderful harbor view. Next, let's walk around the inner harbor. It's the heartbeat of the city with seaplanes landing gracefully on the water, a ferry terminal connecting Victoria to 3 ports in Washington, USA, a water taxi service, and you can book whale watching tours from here as well. In the summertime, this whole area is filled with street vendors, festivals, and celebrations. I'll never forget spotting a floating hot tub party here as well. In the summer, you might even spot the harbor ferries doing a water ballet. Yes, only in Victoria. I haven't seen it myself, so there is something for a future video. I remember when this harbor was empty, no docks at all, and there was an undersea garden where visitors could touch the sea stars in the aquariums. We could watch marine life in the harbor through portholes as well. Sadly, that closed in 2013. The steamship grill over there used to be the Royal London Wax Museum, and that sadly closed in 2010. I visited a few times and was fascinated at how real the wax figures looked. Now I've really dated myself, so let's come back to 2025. If you're arriving by cruise ship, the walk from Ogden Point to the Inner Harbor is scenic and easy with plenty of spots to stop for photos, and it will take about 20 to 30 minutes. History buffs, you will love the Royal BC Museum. I spent hours exploring exhibits on Indigenous culture and BC's natural history. Inside some exhibits you can find include exploring BC's lush coastal forests from Vancouver Island to Haida Gwaii, featuring towering trees and a wide variety of wildlife. You'll find displays of BC's rugged coastline with tide pools full of marine life. And one of my favorites is the Ice Age exhibit featuring mammoths, fossils, and the evolution of the region's landscape and fauna. The exhibit, called Old Town New Approach, is a fresh take on BC's history that reopened in July 2023 with new displays that reflect diversity, inclusion, and community voices. Step back in time as you watch a movie in the Majestic Theatre, pop into a lively saloon, or take in the sweet smell of apple pie baking in the Grand Hotel kitchen. This space keeps growing with new stories from local communities. Don't miss the Port Moody train station, where you'll learn about BC's Black sleeping car porters, or the Hayashi Photography Studio, celebrating Japanese Canadian history and the art of capturing memories. Next door to the Royal BC Museum at the corner of Douglas and Belleville Streets is Thunderbird Park. Here you'll find many totem poles brought here as part of a conservation effort to preserve First Nations monuments and art. You'll find some inside the museum and then the newer totem poles outdoors in Thunderbird Park. Also in the park, you'll find St. Anne's Schoolhouse, Helmkin House, and Mungo Martin House, which is a traditional big house built in 1953 by Chief Mungo Martin. Next, you can take a free guided tour of the beautiful Parliament buildings. Fun fact, these stunning buildings were designed by Francis Rattenbury, the same architect who designed the Fairmont Empress Hotel. On this tour, you will explore the rich history, impressive architecture, and learn how the province of BC's government works. Tours run year-round, so check the schedule and the link that I'm putting in the description, and also in the free PDF guide that you can download. Next to visit is Miniature World, one of Victoria's most charming attractions. It's located inside the Fairmont Empress Hotel, and the main door is on Humboldt Street. I love this place, and I've visited a few times over the years. The first time was over 40 years ago. Okay, that's really a long time ago. There are more than 85 very detailed dioramas with animation, sound, and special lighting. Some displays you'll see include two of the world's largest dollhouses from the 1880s, the Great Canadian Railway, which is one of the world's largest model railways, scenes from the World Wars, and a classic circus with a big top and thrill-seeking high-wire acts. There's so much more to see, and I don't want to spoil it for you, so you will just have to come and visit for yourself. The next must-visit place downtown is Fantan Alley, one of the most unique spots in Victoria's Chinatown. And fun fact, it's actually the narrowest commercial street in North America. At its slimmest point, it is less than 3 feet wide. So if you're going with a few more people, you might have to squeeze in a little bit as you walk through. The alley gets its name from the Chinese gambling game Fantan. Back in the early 1900s, this area was known for opium factories until opium was outlawed in 1908. After that, the alley became famous for gambling, especially Fantan, and the name stuck. It was designated a heritage site in 2001. Today, Fantan Alley is filled with quirky little shops, a cool art gallery, cozy restaurants, and even some apartments and offices above. Oh, and movie buffs. Here's a fun one for you. Mel Gibson zoomed down this alley on a motorcycle in the 1990 film Bird on a Wire. Now, I need to go rewatch that and see if I can spot that scene. One of my favorite ways to unwind is by strolling through Beacon Hill Park, with peacocks wandering freely, ponds full of ducks reflecting the sky, and even a playful goat stampede at the children's farm. Yes, it's as nice as it sounds. Fisherman's Wharf is another great place I love downtown area. A quirky and colorful area with floating homes, seafood shacks, and international food stalls. So grab some fish and chips, some tacos, or seafood chowder from one of the vendors, and dine with a beautiful view. Who else wants to live in one of these beautiful floating homes? I am so obsessed with the doors. Brunch at the Breakwater Cafe offers ocean views that are simply unbeatable, followed by a walk along the Ogden Point Breakwater to a charming lighthouse, which is perfect for those Instagram shots. If you've arrived in Victoria by cruise ship, you will already be at Ogden Point. So you can also wrap up your day by watching the sunset along Dallas Road. This coastal stretch offers incredible views of the ocean and the Olympic Mountains in the distance. And if you're lucky, you might even spot some seals or sea lions or whales offshore as well. One way to spend time in Victoria is with a spooky twist by taking a ghostly walking tour. This hour-long guided tour takes you through the haunted streets of Victoria, sharing eerie stories of the city's past. It's a fun and unique way to explore the historic side of Victoria. These tours take place rain or shine every day throughout the day. There are ghostly walks, history walks, walks through Chinatown, and even school tours. For a touch of Victorian elegance, I suggest a visit to Craigdarroch Castle, which is a stunning 19th century mansion with beautiful architecture and fascinating history. You'll get a glimpse into the life of one of Victoria's wealthiest families and enjoy panoramic views of the city from the tower. At Christmas, the castle is decorated and there are special performances throughout the season. Of course, a trip to Victoria would not be complete without a visit to Butchart Gardens. Just a 30-minute drive from downtown, this world-famous garden is an absolute must-see. You can easily wander through the lush gardens for a few hours, taking in the beauty of the sunken garden, the rose garden, and so much more. One of my favorite times to visit Butchart Gardens is at Christmas time for the magic of Christmas, when the entire property is decorated in colorful lights. You can also stay for lunch or afternoon tea, shop at the gift store, enjoy a concert and fireworks. It all depends on when you visit. And if you're visiting in the fall, you can't miss Japanese Garden because the colors are spectacular. The reds just pop. It's amazing. You have to come every time of the year. When you drive to Butchart Gardens, you will also drive past Butterfly Gardens. So that's another recommended visit. And say hello to Mango. He turns 50 this year. Before or after visiting Butchart Gardens as well, take a short drive to Seaside Farm and Cider House for a delicious lunch and cider tasting. And then just a little bit further, you can visit the Shaw Center for the Salish Sea, which is an amazing interactive aquarium. And if you're staying a little bit longer and would like something else to do just outside of the city, then I recommend visiting the Malahat Skywalk. I have yet to do this, so I will do that for a future video. Another place to visit is Fort Rod Hill and Fiskard Lighthouse. Fort Rod is a coastal artillery fort, and Fiskard Lighthouse has been a feature filming location for a number of Hallmark movies, if you're into those. And on your way back to the city, stop at Esquimalt Lagoon and take in the driftwood art designed by a number of talented artists. It's just a short walk down the beach, but you will be fascinated with how they've created this magnificent driftwood art. And there you have it, a full weekend itinerary for experiencing the best of Victoria, BC, from iconic landmarks and gardens to hidden gems. Whether you're looking for free activities or are ready to indulge in some of Victoria's top experiences, there's something here for everybody. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more travel tips and guides, and I will see you in the next video. If there's something you want me to dive into deeper, then let me know in the comments below.